We will be diving in just a moment. I just want to go ahead and update the stream tag information over on the YouTube end, so everyone who wants to watch, regardless of platform, will be able to do so. So give me like 2 minutes and then we'll jump over into game view. Alrighty, so the stream tag, game tag, whatever you want to call it, should all be updated across Twitch and YouTube at this point. So now we can dive in and start playing. I'm going to go ahead and turn the background music on in just a moment, but first we're kind of going to explain what's going on. So you may notice that we have a completely different ship than the last stream when we wrapped up, and that is because I have played for about 3, maybe 4 hours max since that last stream, just to kind of progress a little bit, get the resources we need and all that noise. Now you also might notice I've got some Neonite shield generator block right there on the top of the hull. That is because we did get the Neonite building knowledge unlocked, and yeah, so I cleared a pirate sector and got the Neonite stuff unlocked. I'm going to upgrade our ship ultimately to this one, the Naonite cargo ship design that I built. And the reason for that is I want to start using our mining lasers just because they're way more efficient than the standard purifying mining lasers. And I need a cargo bay to do it. This is the best way to go about doing that. So realistically, all I need is about 10,000 more Naonite and we'll be done. I went ahead and bought a couple Naonite mining lasers, just purifying ones to start with. They didn't have any R miners available for sale at the trading post I was at, so that's fine. Not a big deal. We'll go back and get our miners after we upgrade. But I upgraded the turrets, so we have as much DPS as we can pack right now on the ship. So this is going to be sitting at, where is it at? 500, almost 506 Omicron worth of damage. So not terrible, not amazing. It has a roughly 86,000 hull, but I was able to clear out a Naonite level pirate sector with this ship design, so 86,000 effective health and roughly 600 DPS worth of damage, or Omicron. So not terrible. It does not take a lot to clear out the Neonite level pirate sector. So what we're going to start off with, we're going to mine up the Neonite we need to upgrade our ship to the cargo ship. Then we're going to try to find our mining lasers that are Neonite tier. And then, oh, okay. There's some enemies warped in. We'll turn on our anti-stuff here, but hopefully, like, why are these dudes pissed at us? I don't really understand. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna keep mining. We'll go ahead and collect these resources real quick. So I do have all my automated dudes still going in the same regions where they were basically. The trading ship has made us roughly $2 million so far, which is not bad since it's only been running for a few hours and it's only done maybe 2 full missions at this point. So I think this mission will probably take us up close to 6 or 7 million when it's all said and done. So should be pretty awesome. I believe the one it's on, we should be getting roughly 500,000 credits each time it turns in a flight. And there's 3 of them, so like every 15-ish minutes we're getting 500,000 credits. Not terrible, not terrible. But I'll go ahead and start background music and we're going to get mining. As far as the progress that's been made since last stream, I do not have video of it to share. However, I did make some YouTube video tutorial videos, more or less, explaining some of the various changes to Avorion the game with the 2.0 update. That way it's a little bit easier to sift through as opposed to having to look at, you know, like a 4 or 5 hour long stream to find the info you're looking for. You can just find a video specifically about whatever it is. On this, yeah, so we're at 466 right now, but I just did like a 2.5 million credit deposit to fly this trade route. So we're sitting at about 3 million credits, roughly. Not too bad though. We should be getting about 500,000 each time it hands in one of its flights now, so we'll go up another 1.5 million and we'll get the 2 million back on the last flight. So we should be close to 6 million, I think, when the trade route's done. So in like an hour. But not a big deal. Basically, we're just going to mine up some Neonite. get our cargo ship template applied to this ship, and then switch over to our mining, our salvaging lasers, whatever makes more sense, and kind of gather the resources we need to upgrade to my Naonite level battleship, so we can go clear out a Neonite, or not a Neonite level, but a Trinium level pirate sector to get the building knowledge we need to continue progressing. But it shouldn't be too bad. From what I recall in my other playthrough, going from Neonite to Trinium building knowledge does not take anywhere near as long as Titanium to Neonite, so hopefully that is the case for us on stream as well. We'll find out, I guess. But all things being said, so like there will be another Cookie Clicker episode uploaded today covering the 10th Ascension, and then there's also going to be over the next few days 3 Avorion tutorial videos for 2.0 Avorion covering captains, turrets, and building knowledge. So if you're looking for like in-depth tutorial stuff, be sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified when those videos go public. And then, which like literally it's the next 5 days. All that stuff will be online. So no worries, it'll be relatively quickly. I do plan on trying to stream a little bit more for the next little bit of progression, just because realistically I don't feel the need to make another tutorial video for the changes until we get fighters unlocked. So that'll be a little bit, so I think doing it stream style might make more sense, just to have some more content for you, show you how to progress through the different stages of the game with all the changes they've added. Should be pretty good though. Like, these Neonite lasers are way faster at mining this than the titanium ones I was using, so that is helpful. Like, hopefully this big asteroid will give us enough, or close to do the upgrade to our ship. We need to fly back into the shipyard sector that we were just in, but it's only one jump away, so it's not that far. And that has an equipment dock, so we might be able to pick up our mining lasers we want to grab at the same time, which would be good. But once we get our ship upgraded and we gather enough resources to build a second one, we're going to try to get a secondary trading ship set up in this region of space. First we'll have it scout all the sectors and all that noise, and then we're going to automate it to do another trade route, so we have 2 trading ships or 2 merchant ships instead of 1. It means that you have more money tied up on deposit, but it means that you generate a lot more per minute, because you're able to collect like 2 deliveries at a time instead of once. So you can scale pretty quickly through the merchant ships. And then once you have enough cash, you should kind of transition and build a couple stations just so they get started or get placed early, so they can start working on going profitable or what have you. But not a big deal. We'll get there when we get there. I mean, realistically, if I can find a claimable asteroid and I have about 10 million credits, I'll probably try to build a mine first. If not, meaning I can't find the claimable asteroid and I have about 10, 15 million, I'll probably build a solar cell factory or station first, just to get some diversity in our economy, because those are 100% passive. You don't have to automate them once the investment's made initially. There's no like deposit that's tied up, so they just start generating for you and it's automatic, so can be pretty good. We'll try to find a good spot to place it so the demand's decent, right? But no worries. Oh, urgent delivery. Well, sorry, friend. I didn't want to give up resources. Yeah, I could just go buy the Naonite from that resource depot over there if I really wanted to speed things up, but I'd prefer to mine it, honestly, and save the like 500,000 to 1,000,000 credits it would cost to buy it for buying systems and turrets and such, or building a second ship. Or well, I guess it's our 5th ship at this point, but whatever, same thing. Better, I think it's a better use of our money at this point. Once you have like hundreds of millions of credits, then it's a little less significant on how much resources cost, depending on how much you're buying, that is. But I don't know. It doesn't take that long to mine like 10, 15,000 Neonite, so figured just do it. One thing I am going to do, I'm going to set the jump to get us back to the shipyard. Oh, pirates are attacking. Actually, it's probably worth our time to go over and try to help with that, or at least get some damage in, so we get the reputation out of it, primarily. And we might get some turrets and stuff out of it too, so could be worth our while. Okay. Alright, we got a little bit into that one. So we did get some. So we got 118,000 credits just for doing like 30 damage into that pirate's hull. So not terrible. It cost like took a few minutes to fly over here, I guess, but not a big deal. We'll fly back over, finish mining the Naonite we need, and then we're going to warp over. Now the question is, can I find the asteroid we were mining? Probably not. But that's not a big deal. I'm not too worried about it. There's some trinium. There it is. That was actually easier than I thought it was going to be. I don't really need titanium right now, so I'm just going to skip those asteroids for now. And we're going to get refunded like 20,000 titanium off of our ship when we upgrade it. Just because this particular design has a bunch of titanium tied up in armor blocks. So that'll be good. We'll get all that back. I don't think the upgrade itself will actually cost all that much either. Maybe 100,000 credits if that. So that'll be pretty good. Inexpensive, small upgrade. And then we can start saving up the materials to go to the bigger upgrade or the bigger jump, which is to the combat ship. And the reason why it's bigger jump is because it has... I think that ship has an effective health pool of like 300,000 or 250,000, 500,000, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly. It might be 250,000. That sounds right. I think it's around 250,000 effective health, which is more than enough to get trinium building knowledge unlocked. So, or clear a pirate sector that's trinium level. So we'll use that to get the next tier of knowledge unlocked. And then we'll probably, like most likely what's going to end up happening is either the next stream or the one after that, depending on when we get trinium knowledge unlocked. We're going to do a live stream build labs session, or like a building live stream where we kind of build the next set of templates for trinium tier ships. And then we'll also we might make the Xanian tier ships at the same time, depending on how long that episode goes, but I figured that makes sense. We can show off kind of the design points that makes sense with the update. Nothing's really changed on the basics of that, so if you understand how to design ships in the game already from playing before, it's pretty much the same. It's just since you can't make your ships as large, you can't, like the ratios of like thrusters, engines, to effective blocks is important because thrusters and engines, A, require power to run, but B, they also they add to the processing power of the ship, which means since you're limited on the size of your ship based on the building knowledge you have unlocked, it becomes more critical in playing that, you know, how much processing power am I going to allocate just to my engines, right? Like, you have to think about that a bit more since the update. So we'll talk about that when we do our building live stream. It'll probably be sometime next week is my guess, just knowing what I know about my schedule for the next few days. But yeah, we'll try to do it as soon as possible, of course. Like, if I do it earlier, feel like streaming Avorion or building or whatever, we'll do it sooner. But it should be fun, nonetheless. I like designing the ships personally. I think it's one of the more satisfying aspects of the game. Mainly because if you're good at designing the ships, you can like really grow or like speed up your progression, just because like you'll be able to build stuff that costs less and you can expand your fleet faster. But anyway, no worries. We'll get there when we get there. We almost have this asteroid mined out. Even though this will give us more than what we need in the Neonite, I'm going to mine the whole thing. That way we don't run out after upgrading. So if a block gets broken that's Neonite based, we can upgrade, like we can repair it. But yeah, not a big deal. Shouldn't take too much longer, maybe like a couple more minutes of mining this asteroid. Then we're going to go make a jump, upgrade the ship. We're going to see if there's R mining lasers. So that'll be task 2, is finding some Neonite tier R mining lasers. And then we'll work on mining Naonite as we kind of warp around, is kind of my thought. I am looking for a merchant captain as well, a little trick. We'll see, are there any around here? There are no captains in this sector. That's fine. I didn't really think there would be. There's only 2 stations, so not a high likelihood. I for sure agree that it's good to have some Neonite in stock. Usually when I build my mines or my stations, I use an asteroid block, which is primarily iron. But all the like functional blocks I tend to do in Neonite, just because it's a little bit cheaper to place than Trinium or Xanium. And it still is fairly, like, for a station that's not flying around and stuff, really you're only building a crew quarters, a cargo bay, and a generator, and that's it. So you don't, like, I don't think it's worth the price increase of like the Neonite station I built generally is about $300,000 to apply the template, because it's built out of Neonite and iron. If I were to do it out of iron and Trinium, it'd be more like 800,000. To go to Xanium, it'd be more like 1.5 million. And it doesn't really change anything about the station at all. So like literally nothing except the cargo bays and the generators are Trinium or Xanium instead of Neonite. So yeah, it's not worth it in my mind. It's better to like lay down more ironstone or scale up the size if you want more health or something like that, as opposed to placing the effective blocks, because then you can keep the crew requirements down, because stone does not require crew to operate it. So you can have like millions of DP or millions of health via stone, that doesn't require any crew to run, whereas armor blocks do take crew, or does require crew to have it on your ship. I don't know what the right way to say that is, but whatever. Don't matter. So we got the Neonite we need. Let's go ahead and make this jump. Turn the ship around. Let's get it. Hopefully this equipment dock will have the our mining lasers we need in stock, so we don't have to fly around all over the world. But we'll see. I generally am not that lucky. But we are in a shipyard sector, so let's go into our save designs, and we are going Neonite cargo ship. Look at this bad mama. Apply design. Yeah. Whoops. Did not mean to place that on there. Ship is overpopulated, really? How? Oh, wow. Okay. That has small crew quarters. We will add on the crew quarters then. I kind of figured it was back here. Slightly shorter. Perfect. And then I believe this is just titanium armor that's on it. So we will go ahead and clad that. Just cause. Armor is a lot harder to break off if you crash into something than a functional block, but let's go ahead and put on our turret bases that we want. So, whoops. Put some there. I'm gonna put one there, and eventually we'll have enough turret slots that we'll be able to put a gun on either side of those, and we'll have 4 anti-torpedoes on the back. Same with up front, so I'm just going to place that preemptively. But let's place our mining lasers first, because we definitely want those. Then we're going to get our DPS back up to snuff. I believe it is 5, so we can place this one, and that's it. Then we have to switch over to auto turrets. We can put one more armed. Cool. So I can't place this one because it's 2 slots, but I can place this one, which is almost as good. Almost, not quite. Cool. Let's go ahead and redo our turret settings. Unfortunately, when you apply templates, it removes all the turrets, so you have to replace them, but there we go. Got it built back up. Not too bad. Build the ship with 6 subsystem slot gates. Milestone reached. Yay, look at us. So we should have an extra slot here. Now I want to check the equipment dock first before I fill that, just because we might be able to find like a better system to put in there. Now this ship, I do plan on since I'm going to fly this around, once we mine up a little bit more Naonite, I'm going to put some more thrusters along this side, just so it's a little bit more maneuverable. It should be okay. Like, we have a full subsystem socket. Like, let's look. So to go to 7, we need tritium A, but I believe it's like 4,000 or 5,000 processing power for the 7th slot. So we have that much processing power from this current design model that we can kind of add more blocks with. Like, that's how much space we have left in the ship, more or less. But let's go ahead and see what these jabronis got. Hopefully it's something good. We should have the money to buy whatever it is, but... So let's see. Systems are garbage right now. But they've got... Neonite salvagers wouldn't be bad. I'll buy those 3 because I might make a salvaging ship out here. It honestly would be smart to do that probably. Outside of that, ooh, this is pretty, those are pretty beefy. We'll buy those. The rest, I'm not really interested in at this point, so we'll just leave it at that. We spent $500,000, so we spent enough. We can call it there. Let's go ahead and up our DPS on our primary boat, or ship, whatever you want to call it, because we can. But these lasers are way better than what we had before. So we'll put those 2, put a Scorcher, and then actually, there we go. It's worth doing this. It's only probably like 100 extra Omicron or something, but I think that's worth our time. We do have cargo bay on here, so like we'll be able to pick up scrap and stuff now, which is nice. Eventually we will get our mining lasers and start utilizing those, but what was I gonna do? Let's see. So they've got a smuggler, they've got a no class, which I can use a no class, I guess. How far away is that? 104? Jesus, okay. That's far away. We'll go over here. It's a shame. I should have checked the captains at this post before flying all the way over to the equipment dock. Oh well. Live and learn. Let's see. Go off of rarity for me, please. Thank you. So I could put a mining system in because we're planning on doing mining. I think it's maybe smarter to go... I wish I had a blue armed turret, but I guess I could go green armed for this particular one and save that civil turret for the salvaging ship we're going to build. I think I'm going to do that. So we're going to install this one permanently for now. That will allow me to place a couple more turrets on the ship, which will be great. So I think let's go ahead and place the underside anti-torpedo guns and just see what we're left with slot count wise. So we've got 2 slots remaining. So we can put the plasma gun on. I want to actually put the plasma gun where that one is. And then I can place one more. So I still can't do the 2 slot unless I pull off the plasma. So this is 93.4. This is 81. So I'd only get 10 more, whereas I'd get 30, almost 40. Okay, yeah, it's worth doing it this way. Okay, we need to go hire some more crew, meaning gunners, so we can shoot all these various lasers that we have put on our ship. But that should help us a little bit. We're almost at 1,000 Omicron, so it'll be nice once that's all finished. Did I forget to map one? Yep. There it is. Okay, let's fly over to the resource depot. We'll be able to hire gunners over there, so it's not really that big of a deal. I primarily want the captain. So we're going to hire the captain. And then I think I'm just going to use one of the titanium ship designs that I have and maybe either add armor or like a tiny speck of shield to it so it can survive in this region of space and do some salvaging for me. I think I need to do salvaging. I don't have the mining lasers to set up a mining ship is the reason for that. But we'll go ahead and get this done. I think I could do a merchant ship with a no-class captain. But I don't quite have enough resources, I don't think, to... Well, actually, I guess if I made it out of titanium instead of Neonite, I'd maybe be able to build a titanium cargo ship for him to fly. So let's just fly over here for a mo. Oh. Okay. Well, dang. We just got obliterated. I don't really understand why that happened, because we had enough DPS to be here. But okay. I guess we're gonna use our repair token. Damn. Those dudes killed us in like 2 shots. We didn't even have a chance to respond. That's crazy. Like, hopefully I didn't lose all my turrets and systems is the primary thing I'm worried about. Oh, shit. We're probably going to start all the way back out at the edge of this galaxy now, is what's going to happen. Yes, 25k to reassemble, that's fine. Thank you. Alright, we did keep all of our turrets. And that, so that's good. Health is non-existent. What is this? Oh, that's because of the structural damage. Okay, fine. Can I not afford it because of the materials I'm missing? Yeah. Alright, how much would you pay? Dang, you still charge me materials for it though? Like, that's stupid. 271, okay. There you go. That's worth it to have a fully functioning ship. I don't really understand why we got attacked there though. Like, I guess this ship doesn't have very much health, but still. Now we're all the way out in the boonies. I don't even know, like, is there a warp gate thing in this sector? No, there is not. Test the coil, trading posts. Travel hub. There is one down here. So we're going to go down to this sector. Warp to this one, take the gate, and then warp in. Because maybe, yeah, that was savage. It's annoying because it pushes me all the way back at the starting sector. So now I have to fly like 200 sectors to get back to where I was at and get back to what I was doing. So little aggravating. I'm a little tilted right now, but that's okay. I guess what I could try to do, I don't know. What do you friends have? So they've got a merchant and a captain and a miner at their stations in this sector. So we might take them up on both of those, because we can just leave this one on our main ship. So let's go buy these. So I want this merchant. Or how far away was that? 15? That's close. That's probably the closest station. So we'll come over here. We're going to buy these captains real quick, just because they can fly with us into the center. And they should be a little bit cheaper from this faction, since we're excellent reputation standing with them, as opposed to just neutral or good. And it takes a while to build up to this status. The sector you start in, you are excellent standing with that faction every time. So exploit, kinda, not really, it's built into the game. Granted, this takes all of our money. Well, we're gonna buy it anyway, I guess. I might regret that when I get down to the travel hub. But hopefully we get one of our merchant deposits dropped off when we get there, so we can have some money to buy like a huge jump sector increase, because that's what the travel hub does. That's why we're going there. You pay some credits and they buff your ship to make a super long jump. With that being said, I don't know how effective it's going to be from out this far, but we will find out, I guess. Unfortunately, there are not wormholes kind of jumping me down into this region. It's just you gotta kind of fly it. But I can leave the merchant captain on this particular ship. Like, I'll take out most of the systems. I'll probably just leave the combat systems in this one, and or not even the combat systems. Like, I'll put in one, like the green combat system will probably stay, so it has enough DPS to fly where it's flying, and it's just gonna run trade routes. Because the merchant captain, like a specialized merchant captain, they do get better trade routes offered to them. They trade faster. I think they also have other buffs potential that they can roll, things like that. So they're pretty strong. So this is the travel hub. Jump distance. Oh, you have to give them energy cells? Or all this crap. Okay. Well, I don't have any of that, so... I mean, we're not that far. Let's just... Alright. Jump time. We're going to be doing like a billion jumps to try to get back to where we were. And that's just that. So, buckle up, kids. This is what it's going to look like for a little bit. Ugh. I'll be back in like, well, while this boots up, I'll be back in like, actually, we'll make the next couple jumps. JK. I'm going to go get another drink is what I'm going to do here in a minute. Or actually, I need to wait for this to recharge. So I'm going to go grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Let's get back on this warp train, because that's what we're doing. And it's fine. It gives time for our automated ships to kind of gather some resources for us, so when we get back to where we are trying to get to, we'll have some credits and resources to play with. Which is always good, I guess. And who knows, we might get lucky enough and encounter Swax on our way back in. And this ship should be strong enough to take out Swax, I would think. Because Swax is not very, like, he's not that difficult of a boss. Like, we have shields, he doesn't. Granted, we don't have a lot of shields, but still. Speak of the devil. Here's Swax. Do we want to try this? Let's wait for our stuff to cool down all the way. I think we try this. Psh. Get some. Let's go. We could warp right now if we wanted. So I'm going to try not to boost too much. But if I kill Swax specifically, I can take his system before we leave. Because you don't actually have to kill all the pirates. You just have to kill this particular one. Granted, he has the most health out of all of them, but... assuming we have enough shields to kind of sustain and just sit here and peg him with our turrets. Ooh, we got a blue turret drop off of him. That's nice. I'm also doing this so like half of his ships are not actually hitting me. Come on. There we go. Okay. Give me my Zotan and the gold. Thank you. And we are going to warp. Bye. Woo! We got Swax. Look at that. What a champion. Okay. I feel okay being pushed out to the edge now because we got a Zotan artifact out of it. So I suppose that was worth our time. Wormhole device. Sure, I'll take that. I think that ports you back in after. Yeah, mission complete, right? Nah, but let's see what we got. So we got Swax artifact, which is the combat turret system. So 10 armed turret slots, 6 auto slots. So this is really strong. We're going to put that in our main ship once we get back to where we're going. But then we also got a cargo hold and combat turret system. That's nice. And then I'm pretty sure... if we look in our inventory, yeah. So we got this antimatter turret. That's cool. That's way better than what we've got. This bolter turret. Not bad. It's probably pretty high DPS per slot, honestly. Decent. Our mining lasers that are iron tier, so not super helpful. We could maybe throw them on our first mining ship after the captain gets specialized to give us more... turret slots or whatever. So like this guy right here, when he hits level 5 doing mining missions, they will get a specialty. He will turn into a miner captain, like a specialized miner captain. But let's go ahead and put him here, put him back. Safe mode. So this is how I do safe mode on this, just so 0% ambush probability means he won't get attacked. 6% otherwise, which isn't that great, but it's worth it to me. So, alright, we'll do that. We'll set up our scrapper again. Same thing. 1%. I mean, that's not super crazy. But there we are. We'll go ahead and warp, continue our way back in to where we were. And I think what I'm gonna do, now that I've thought about it, is I'm gonna make this ship that we are flying right now the merchant ship back in that Trinium region of space. and I'm gonna rebuild the titanium combat ship that I had, uh, and fly that around for the time being. And I think that will work out. We don't have our mining lasers anyway, so it's not like I really need to have a cargo bay on my main ship. And if I decide that I want one later, I can just stick them on the side of the titanium combat ship that I'm going to use. But that ship has more health than this one, so like, assuming some random dude decides, oh hey, I'm going to torpedo the shit out of you, and two-shot ya, that ship maybe wouldn't have gotten two-shot. It would have taken maybe 4 or 5, hopefully. Which still is no time. I mean, it's not like we really would have been able to do too much in response, but yeah. I was very surprised. Like, I don't think I've ever had a ship destroyed that fast. Like, usually it takes, like, you have a few seconds to respond or, like, fly away or do something. That instance, nah, there was nothing I could do. It was basically, hey, we're here to kill you. Here's a torpedo. Here's a second torpedo. You're dead. Bye. And that was kind of it. So, no worries. I guess what I could try to do is save up the credits to move our repair dock in closer to the center. So I could do that. It does cost quite a bit of credits though, and it gets more expensive the farther you're moving. But if I moved it up into the Trinian region of space, assuming I lost my ship in like the Xanian region, or even after I crossed the barrier and stuff, you know, in like the Oganite or Avorion regions, it's a lot closer than flying from the very edge to get back to where you are trying to go, I guess. So it might be worth it. We'll look and see how much it costs, I guess. When we get there, that is. So we made it about halfway, I would say. That's about halfway. I guess we just keep going down. Like, I mean, I guess, like, this faction over here may actually have some pretty good stuff. So let's actually fly over here and see if we can't get the merchant ship put on over in this area. How much? Yeah, we've got a lot of titanium and iron, so I'm not even worried about that. There should be more than enough to build the ship that I want, so... So I just figure I'll put the captain that's actually going to fly the ship in the position. So they've got intimidating, enemies avoider. That's good. They provoke attacks. That's not as good. Manages to evade, but if they do catch large groups, so that's a good trait most of the time. And this one's a good trait for a merchant because it means that they get better trade routes offered. So awesome. That's actually a pretty good merchant to find, especially in the first sector of the game. Like, we found that in the starting sector. Now granted, that might have regenerated since we actually started the game. I don't actually know if the crew changes whether or not they have captains at the stations or not, or if that's a fixed variable. But either way, not a big deal. You know what would be hilarious if we found another Swax and got two of those systems? That would be pretty awesome, honestly. Because then I could have one for my main ship and one for my combat ship that I'm going to build eventually. That is just going to be patrolling like my primary like shipbuilding sector type stuff. Oh, this is the faction center. That is good to know. Okay. Actually, I'll put a flag for that. Because it is slightly different than, like, there's an equipment dock here because it's the center system, but it's the capital. So, like, you can come in here and do special stuff with the Capitol building, I think, is how that works. More purifying mining laser. Ooh, there are some R mining over here. Or one R mining laser. I think we'll... Yeah, we're not going to fly all, like, 60 kilometers just to buy one laser. If they had two, I would fly over there, but they don't. And it's really not worth only having one R mining laser. It takes way too long to do anything, so I want at least two of them. I guess I could have bought that and waited until I came across another one, but I was kind of surprised they were only selling one at a time with that particular laser, because usually when they're petty quality or the black tier, the lowest tier in the game, they like they'll have 4 or 5 of them available for purchase, but that's okay, not a big deal. I believe there's a equipment dock where we're going as well, yeah, so they might have what we're looking for a little bit closer than that other one. But setting up a trading ship with this faction is good. So if you look at the map, you can tell where the factions deviate with these bold lines. So like this is a faction, this is a faction, and this is a faction. So I believe this faction is this lower one down here that we're neutral with. So if I put a trading ship in this faction, eventually they will improve to good standing with us, because when you trade goods with factions, even if it's an automated merchant ship, your reputation or your standing with them increases over time. So by putting the trading ship in this region, it's not going to impact the trade routes of our other ship that's currently trading, and B, it's going to build us reputation with the faction that we're currently only neutral standing with. So it's worth doing it, and I think it should work out pretty well for us. So alright, we are in a shipyard sector. Good. Where is the equippy dock? There he is. What do you got for me? Civil turrets, eh? That actually isn't terrible because I don't have a blue civil. That blue turret arbitrary is not bad. Dual R miners. So he only has one as well. These guys suck. Have 2 of the damn turret that I need. That's alright. Let's fly, or actually I do need to go to the equipment dock because I plan on taking some of the systems out of this ship to put back in the ship I plan on flying myself. So yeah, we do need to be in range of the equipment dock because all the systems we currently have are permanently installed, so they will be destroyed if we try to remove them in excess of 3 kilometers, I think is the distance. It's something like that from the station, but we'll go ahead and dock. I'm gonna buy those 2 blue turret control systems, I think, and we might as well pick up the R mining laser since we flew over here. So I want that. This one is radar, jump range, and increases cooldown. So this is a garbage system in my opinion. These, not amazing really. So buy the R miner, and that's kind of it, I think. There's nothing else I really want. Okay, cool. So we did that. Let's go ahead and unsocket some systems, shall we? Or well, first, let's take off turrets. So I know these lasers are not going to be on there. I know most of these turrets are not going to be on there. We could Yeah, that takes it to yellow, which is fine. Not a big deal. We're going to fix that in just a moment. But what I want to do is pull out these systems. I'm going to leave this green system in, I think. That one I shouldn't need, really. Or that one. So, okay. It's got 3 armed, 1 defensive turret slot. I think I'm going to just start with that and see what we can get DPS-wise, if it's going to be sufficient. So, let's take... We've got a lot of these guys, so we'll maybe place these ones first. 3 of those, and then I guess we'll do 2 defensive turrets. And I'm not going to use the top tier ones because I want those on my battleship, but this will just give it a little bit more. And then, I mean, I guess we could, in theory, throw on like a salvage laser or something, but I'm not even gonna worry about that. It shouldn't matter. 2 and 2. And this, I'm gonna rename you to LD7 Trader 2. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and set this to defensive mode. Perfect. So this ship is pretty much set the way I want. Okay. It's got the merchant captain. It has the extra captain, which we're going to move over to our new ship when we build it. But let's hop out and build the second ship, shall we? So I'm just going to apply the titanium battleship. So SSS LD7. And we're going to build this, and we're going to template it, and we are going to try to do this one. Perfect. We were able to do that one. Now, let's take our Neonite and get our little blocky boos placed like that, and place some turrets, shall we? So we're going to do 1 and 2. Then we're going to go 3. Oh, whoops. I need to install system sockets. What a scrub. Okay, so we're going to install permanently this legendary artifact because that will give us a lot of DPS potential. 10 armed turret slots is a lot. We're going to go with this arbitrary gold turret. I want this one for the warp. Go for radar is going to be worth our time. And then like having the generator probably does make sense. I mean, let's install permanently the generator system as well. So, okay, let's see what we can do now. So if we Scorcher, Violent, Thing, go 1 and 2. Or actually, I guess I should maybe place the auto turrets first. Might be smart. So I kind of do want the 4 of them. So we're going to place 4 of them. Actually, it says we can place 5. But we'll just do 4 to start with. And we'll place some more like damage DPS type turrets. So we'll do that and that. Jeez. Like this ship is stacked. Look how many guns are on this. We'll put that one up there because it's a little bit bigger turret. So we broke the 1K Omicron, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and install. So we really do need this extra slot, so we need 500K processing. That should not be difficult to add. Let's add in some titanium cargo bays, just in case we do come across the whatchamacallit, the lasers we're looking for. We can the R mining lasers, we can go ahead and use them. So we're gonna put one there. Also gonna put one, delete that first. Put one there. How much is that? 800? That's not a whole lot, but maybe put one right there. Like that. 1,000 is not bad. Let's go ahead and do our armor, and then I think what I'm gonna do for the like I want to upgrade the thrusters if I can afford it, just because adding these big titanium, like even though titanium's lightweight, adding these big blocks and then armor on top of it is gonna slow down the ship quite a bit. So we're gonna do that. Let's throw in a titanium engine. I mean, we need to get to 2K anyway, so like we can afford this. So let's make this one like this tall, like that. Actually, we'll make that a little bit taller even. Try to get it so it's like that, maybe. That'll give us a lot more excel, so we'll try that first. We'll add thrusters after. We're also probably going to need crew quarters, so we'll just sneak these in back here right now. I'm also going to expand the generator. Or generator we're good on. It looks like. I mean, we could... You know what? We're going to expand it anyway. Like that, maybe. A couple blocks. It's 20. Can I put one underneath, maybe? Yeah, okay. We'll do that. Take it up to 21. Call it good. And then let's... Crew quarters is what I was really looking for. 35 crew should be sufficient. It won't be able to get the full 200% bonus on everything, but that should be sufficient to run all the blocks on the ship at least. Okay, there's that. Okay, do something like that. Anyway, not a big deal. So there's that. Let's go ahead and... I mean, our thrust isn't terrible, but part of me really wants to upgrade the thrusters just slightly. Like, if I put a thruster there, 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 and there. Like, let's make them a little bit bigger than that. But that should, like... So, like that, 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 and that. Yeah, that makes it a little bit more maneuverable, so it'll be easier to fly. We're going to clad these in armor, which will drop it down on stats just a little bit on speed. But it will increase our health a little bit further, which is not a bad thing at all. So we're going to be sitting just over 100,000 effective health. We don't have any shields on this ship, which kind of sucks, but we'll build that part of it later. Like, honestly, what we're going to do, the next upgrade we're going to make is to the Neonite combat ship. We need about 250,000 Neonite to do it, and almost 1.7 million credits as well. But this ship should be significantly stronger than the one we're currently flying, and it has good maneuverability. It can store torpedoes and such, so yeah. That's what we're going to do next, but I think... let's get crew for it, which will take a minute, mind you, but... Alrighty, let's grab 10 of these dudes. What just happened? Why did I hire 30? Are you fucking kidding? That's fucked. That's stupid. I just wasted all my money hiring 30 mechanics because it switched to 30 from 10 for no fucking reason. That makes me very salty. Yeah, I will be lucky to be able to afford the rest of the crew now, is what that means. Let's see. Okay, we'll expand the crew quarters a bit. Kind of figured we were going to need to. I just wasn't sure how much. We were pretty close, though, for eyeballing it. Just do that. Yeah, now we got plenty of space for all of our dudes. Let's go ahead and map our turret so we can turn some of this mess off. The reason why I wanted to upgrade to 6 slots is so I could put another system in the ship, so get this slot unlocked. That way I can have mining lasers. So we're going to use... I guess we'll go just the base arbitrary. Go this one though. And let's put in our mining lasers, so... These are all salvage lasers. Our mining, iron and titanium primarily. But I do have the 2 Neonite mining lasers, just standard purifiers. We'll throw those guys on the ship. Gotta hire some miners, which they do have these guys at this station, so we'll hire a couple. And perfect. We'll set these to defense mode, turn them off, and then we need to fly over to our other ship and pick up our captain, and then we can automate this bad mama to get trading once we get a little bit more money. So what I'm going to do first is... There we go. Now we got a captain. Cool. So this whole region is not explored, right? So what I'm going to do is send this dude on a scout mission real quick. Don't add captain's notes. Just go out and explore these sectors for me. That will make his trade route a little bit easier to set up, because there will be more station types to pick from to generate the trade route. So hopefully that made sense. But okay, cool. We got our stuffs kind of set up. Have they reset their turrets yet? Not yet. We got a minute, so we shall wait that minute because they may end up getting what we're looking for. Granted, we do not have a whole heck of a lot of money. This is only 3 minutes away though, so. And this should give us back the couple million, I think, that we deposited on the mission, so that'll be good. Mainly because I need it for the deposit on this guy again, but also so when this guy is done with his scout mission, I can send him out as well. I need to pay for a second deposit, is basically what it boils down to. And it doesn't have to be like the most lucrative one or like the max. You don't have to max it out, but I think the cheapest you can kind of get started with is like a couple $100,000, which we don't even have 50,000. But yeah. Anyway, so this should work a little better for us. I mean, this ship... That's what it sounds like when it's shooting. But it does... I mean, it's decent, I guess. I don't know. We have such a long way to go. It's ridiculous. Like, this makes me sad how far we have to travel still. It's alright, though. Not the end of the world. We'll get there when we get there. Let's see, what you got for me now, friend? Nothing that great. Couple Neonite mining lasers, which, kind of meh on that. System-wise, that's auto. They do have a blue civil, which isn't the worst. Green civil. They have another generator upgrade. Okay, well, nothing too fancy pants then. Let's see where we want to go. Let's maybe warp down into here. Oh, we can't make that in one. Well, let's warp here instead then. It's off the beaten path. We might find a claimable asteroid in this sector, which although we don't have the credits for a mine at this point, it still would be good to find those. So, alright, let's go ahead and reset up our lady trading ship, as they have finished. And what are they looking at here? So, that's not that great of a trade route, honestly. I think down here is where the better, like, station types are. So you get better drops off of each delivery. That's not super amazing. Nor is that. 200k times 3, so 600,000 off the whole thing for $1 million invested. That's not terrible. We'll do that one. Okay, well, I guess let's just go mine for a minute. I was hoping there'd be a claimable, but it doesn't really look like there is, so... Oh well. There we go. Sorry about that. I was just readjusting the view on the ship. When you change templates, like, you sometimes have to adjust the view so you can see what you're doing. It was too zoomed in for my taste. Height as well. The height was set too low, so just adjusted that real quick. You do that by pushing the Alt key first, and then if you hold Control, you can move your mouse to adjust the height, as well as the scroll will adjust the scroll, obviously, but it sets it at, like, it locks it as that's your default view or whatever. But at this point, I think I'm just going to mine some resources for a little bit and let our automated stuff tick over. Mainly so I have more credits to play with, and I kind of need the resources to continue expanding. Like, I want to build either another salvaging ship or another automated mining ship. It's probably going to be a salvaging ship first because I already have the turrets for it. Whereas I don't really have the mining lasers I want to use for a Neonite tier ship. So, yeah. But I do want to get like another salvager and miner setup for the Neonite region specifically, or like Neonite trend region of space, just because it will improve our yields of the Neonite resource specifically, which we're using for our ships now a lot because that's the highest tier material we have access to. But also they should start picking up a tiny bit of trinium if they have Neonite lasers, which, while yes, it'll maybe be like 1,000 or 2 every couple hours, that little trickle will add up over time. So by the time we actually need to build something out of trinium, we'll have maybe 10 or 15,000 trinium available to us without needing to mine anything. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens, as always. But We don't have a headhunter thing on us at this point, so that is a good sign. Hopefully we won't get like 2-shot again. I'm not 100% sure why that happened in the first place, but no worries. We're kind of back where we need to be. Cost us like 300,000 credits, I think, to repair the ship and get it going. But we expanded. We added another ship to our fleet, so we've got the LD7 Trader 1, or Trader 1 and Trader 2 now. So once that trade mission should be finishing up here the next few minutes, so we should be able to set them up to run a trade route in the faction we're currently in, or their space we're currently in, and start doubling our credit generation. So that'll be good. Start scaling a little bit faster. I believe when I played through in the beta initially, I got 2 merchant ships set up first, and then I started building stations because I was generating enough from those 2 that I could afford it. It might take 3 though. We'll just kind of see. It depends on how fast we want to do stuff. But either way, we're going to need some titanium and some Neonite and iron and all the resources to kind of be able to do this. The benefit is, since we're rocking Neonite lasers now, mining titanium asteroids should go a heck of a lot faster for us. Compared to how long it used to take us to gather titanium, we should go a lot faster now, which is going to be good. Because we can build more of these this titanium combat frigate that I have designed right here as escort ships if we really need to. And then we can potentially move our mining ships in deeper, let our scrappers go into contested space because they have some defense with them. But we'll see what happens. Not a big deal. I wouldn't mind finding a salvager professioned captain to begin with to set up on the new ship. If we get lucky, hopefully we can do that. If not, it's not the end of the world. We can put the no class captain that we're currently flying with this ship that we're in on the salvaging ship we built, because after running enough missions it'll turn into a salvager anyway, so not that big of a deal. And I believe their perks were not terrible. They had the cunning perk, which is typically pretty good, and I think there was one other that they had that makes them do missions faster or something, which is pretty good when you're putting them on an automated ship for sure. Just because as opposed to 2 hours, it'll maybe take like, or they'll go a little faster or whatever. So it's nice. It adds up. It's only a small percentage, but it adds up. Now we need 250,000 Neonite. So that is a lot of Neonite, seeing as we only have like 5,000 right now. But we'll get there eventually. I'm going to mine this big-ass titanium asteroid because getting this giant stack of titanium out of it should be quite nice for us. Yeah, exactly. No, I've got a lot of mining ahead of me. And realistically, I'm probably going to try to tweak the design of ship that I'm flying right now a little bit at some point, just so it's a little bit more suited for what I'm trying to do, because it doesn't have a lot of room for me to add like shields to this ship design. Like there's a little bit of space, but shields take up a lot of energy, so I'll probably need to expand the generator from where it's currently sitting, and I don't think there's enough room for both. But oh, all right, well, have a good night. Thanks for tuning in, as always, and hope to see you in the next one. Thank you for the luck and well wishes. Hopefully it goes well for us and we don't get destroyed again. But yeah, should be good. Ugh. Well, I don't know how much titanium we're gonna get from this, but it should be a decent chunk. Those are Zotan that just warped in, so just turn those on. They'll come over and engage us, and I'm gonna fight them because honestly, I wouldn't mind getting some combat turrets if we can pull it off. That is a hard shot to make from 4 clicks out. Dang. It's nice that we got that kind of range, though. Repositioning. Alright, no, I'm kidding. It doesn't actually make that sound. I wish it did. That'd be cool. Kind of. Or it'd get really irritating. One or the other. Yeah, you're welcome, friend. I just saved your ass, so you're welcome. Don't steal my asteroids, or I'm have to blow you up. Not really, though. I don't want to go to war with your faction. So, we got a standard anti-fighter turret. And a triple plasma gun turret. Fancy. Not really. They're probably both garbage, but whatever. We can throw them into the research center at some point and turn them into something better, maybe. I don't know. I don't get very lucky with the research stuff, but that is a method to upgrade your turrets and DPS and stuff. So, having a bunch of low tiers does not hurt you. You can always sell them for money as well. Cool, cool. Well, get that titanium. I don't really... I guess we were going to fly into this one, right? Guess we can queue that up so I can calculate. We'll probably warp after this asteroid. I know there's no reason to necessarily because there's asteroids we could mine here that'll give us the resources we need, but I don't like sitting in one sector doing the same thing for days, if that makes sense. So I try to warp around after a couple and then kind of go from there. Mainly because I'm kind of curious to see what this sector is, because if it is a scrapyard, what I can do is change out these mining lasers for salvaging lasers that are Neonite tier, and we can do some salvaging for a little bit, and that might actually go a little faster because we have more, we'll have more DPS most likely since we'll have 3 turrets instead of 1. But we did get another dual purifying miner turret, it looks like, from our salvager, so that's good. It's probably titanium tier, but whatever. In theory, once we get the specialized mining captain and salvaging captain, it's probably worth our time to go back to those ships, like transfer to those ships and upgrade their mining lasers and systems and stuff so they're fully kitted out. Because when you do that, it'll improve how much resources they gather. So like right now, I think they're running iron mining lasers is probably what they're running, and iron salvaging lasers. So if I was to upgrade both of those ships to Naonite tier lasers, they would gather way more iron and titanium than they currently are. Because the DPS and efficiency would go up because the turrets are better on the ship. Also, I think going to a mining specialized captain, it gives them a free mining system basically because it highlights hidden asteroids, but also it improves the efficiency when they're mining asteroids as well, I believe. So between those few things, it should do pretty good for us, but not bad. I think this asteroid probably gave us somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000-ish titanium when it's all said and done. So that's not too bad. I mean, I don't know. If we were using our mining lasers, we'd probably get more like 20 or 30,000 out of it, just to put it into perspective, though. Let's finish mining the big one, then we'll switch to the other piece that broke off. It's almost done though. Perf. Let's go ahead and make this warp. See where we end up. Yeah, there's no climbable over there. Okay, so this is like a full-on sector. What do you got as far as crew? Got a Commodore, they've got a Scavenger, which is who we're looking for. Let's see if we got enough money to buy them, or hire them, whatever. We're not actually buying them, we're hiring them. They're not slaves, because they can revolt and not do their job if they get pissed and you don't pay them, so they're not actually slaves, don't worry. We do not condone slavery on this channel, because it's a bad thing. And this game doesn't either, so that's good. In fact, it used to let you free slaves that pirates captured, but I haven't found those missions for a long time, so I don't think they're in the game anymore because they were a bit overpowered, if I say so myself. Let's see, 156, you value yourself, don't you, bud? I guess you are a tier 2, so that's fair. And he's got intimidating, enemies avoid him, so that's easy. Captain is less likely to be spotted, and he finds what he's looking for fast. Wow, okay, that's a pretty good captain, if I say so myself. So we will hire him. Let's look at our salvage lasers real quick. So salve. And really I want material for this. So I've got 3 Neonites that I could give him. And if you noticed on that tooltip for the captain, it said that it gives you +2 unarmed turret slots. So that means when I build a ship for him to fly, it will give me 2 unarmed turret slots extra than what the ship normally would be able to have. So that is a good find. That was a good find right there. It's also a turret factory station, so those can be useful. I mean, ish. Did this guy finish? He did, it looks like. So yeah, like, kind of want you to scout out down here now. There's not that very many sectors there though. It's the thing. Maybe it's just a smaller faction or something. We'll kind of do it like this type of a deal to give them some options, maybe. Let's do aluminum. That's a nice cheap one. 2 flights, 161. 111, 3 to 7 flights though. This one's slightly better. 8% versus 8. At the 1 million mark, it's about the same. So I think it is worth doing this guy at the bottom. Oh, that's the thing. Okay, so he doesn't have enough cargo. We'll do this one. It's fine. We'll make a few $100K off of it real quick and call it good. Alright, let's maybe try to get into this sector, I think. And I'm just slowly pushing back in towards the center of the galaxy. And the reason why I'm doing that is eventually we'll encounter some Trinium asteroids. And I'll mine a piece of it just so we unlock the milestone thing or whatever. And that will also indicate kind of the threshold depth relative to the center of the galaxy that you need to be at in this particular seed to find Trinium building knowledge. So that's the other reason I don't necessarily have to go as deep in as I was before to get Trinium building knowledge, I don't think. Because I believe it spawns a little bit farther out. It's just a matter of finding a shipyard sector at that band, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes you have to push in a little farther to find a shipyard because it's not right on the edge of the Trinium region. But we should be able to do it. Either way, not a big deal. It's good to explore the sectors that are around you, especially since I'm going to have a trade ship in this region. Knowing what station types are available, if you scout all the sectors and then do the trade route, you'll have more trade options potentially available because you'll know what type of goods are being sold. Whereas if you don't scout, you're going to be limited to stuff that's relatively close to the sector the ship is starting in. So bear that in mind. It is worth scouting prior to doing a trade route, just so you have access to all the potential trade routes as opposed to just a few. That is super salty right now. Super salty that did not warp me because we were at max warp. What the hell? Oh well, I guess that's fine. What I hope that they add at some point with one of these patches that they're doing to the 2.0 game is that they make a marker on your battery storage for how much battery you actually need to affect a warp jump. I think that, like, and all they'd have to do is kind of put like a little arrow or something right above this bar where your ship needs to recharge to in order to have enough energy to warp, and that is all it would take, and it would be so helpful. I wouldn't have to worry about running out of power before completing the warp anymore and all that stuff. So I think that would be a cool add or a cool feature that they could add, that I hope that they do. And they might. We'll see. We'll see what happens over the next few patches. Technically speaking, I am playing the beta branch, so it is not the standard public release 2.0 version of the game. It is 2.0.7, so there have been a few patches from the beta 2.0 changes in the version I'm playing. So hopefully at some point they'll add in that indicator thing in one of the beta patches that they launch. Eventually, most of the stuff that you see me playing with as far as the settings and mechanics and shit like that, it'll be implemented into the full game in some way, shape, or form. They might rebalance it or whatever. I just figured playing on the beta branch is helpful since I'm making videos of my gameplay for the developers of the game. If they happen across my channel and my videos and stuff, they can use my gameplay footage to help them see potential balance changes that need to be implemented, or if something's not working the way they intended, it'll be more apparent watching someone play the game as opposed to just looking at the code, is my thought. And also I like Avorion and I like sharing the games that I enjoy playing with others, so that's another reason why I'm recording, but not a big deal. So let's see. A lot of asteroids in this sector. A lot of asteroids. I was just kind of repositioning to look and take a peek. There might be a claimable lurking, but it does not appear so. And that's alright. Not the end of the world. I think I will take this gate. Southeast, I believe, is what that direction is. So we're going to take this because that's a long distance to go to the next sector. So might as well. I'm going to mine this Naonite first, though. Just so we're building up resources as we go. It's not a big deal. But it gives us time to recharge our power, or our battery. So once we get through that warp gate, we can jump right away and not have to wait too long. I guess one thing we could show off is the automation or the autopilot feature. So since we have a captain, we can set it to mine sector, and basically this ship will fly around and automatically mine out the entire sector for me. And I don't have to do anything. It's controlling itself at this point while I'm talking, so pretty fancy. You hit backspace to stop the autopilot, but it'll fly around and mine out all the asteroids. You do need a captain on the ship in order to use that command, but this is more like the traditional auto mining that you would have in Avorion. That's what this is. So like the ship will fly around and mine out the asteroids in the sector until there aren't any, and then it'll stop the autopilot, right? But this is kind of a cool way, like if you wanted to, like let's say you needed to leave your computer for a minute or two, but you still wanted to mine, you can set the autopilot to mine for you and leave your computer for a few minutes and come back and you'll still have gathered resources for the time you were away. The other use for this is if you switch to a crafting sector and give it an autopilot order, and then switch to a different craft, that autopilot order will remain in effect until it can no longer do it. So what that means is I could build a bunch of ships that have just garbage mining lasers and give them this autopilot order, assuming they have a no class captain on them, and they will fly around and mine out all the asteroids in a sector for me. So I could expand my mining or resource generation in that way because it will produce resources faster than just doing the mining missions outright. Um, However, I don't personally care for the autopilot. I will say this time using it is way more successful and way more effective than the first time I tried it out. The first time I tried it out, I was parked right in front of an asteroid. Literally, my ship maneuvered for about 5 minutes and did not mine that entire time, trying to find the correct position to mine that asteroid from. So it appears that they have kind of fixed some of the bugs with it since I last used it, which is good because it means it's actually a viable mechanic and not just a dream. Um, but anyway, I just figured that I wanted to show it off, just so you guys know that like you can automate ships like you used to if you really want to. It's just done through that autopilot menu up here, and you only get these advanced orders available when there is a captain on the ship. So if you don't have a captain, you will not be able to use the advanced autopilot orders. You can use the basic one, which is basically just like escort, I believe. Um, but yeah, just bear that in mind. It is a useful thing to be aware of because it can help you with your resource generation. So let's go through this gate like our initial plan was, and we will continue pushing inward. Eventually, we are going to build a salvaging ship with the Neonite lasers and put that captain on it. That way we can increase our resource production or our passive resource production. But yeah, we need to kind of fly through this gate. And I think I need a little bit more titanium to build a ship that I want. So we're going to wait until we gather the titanium. If the ship is too weak, even when it's in safe mode, it'll still have a really high ambush probability. And if the ship gets ambushed, it interrupts the command. So you won't get, like, it'll slow down your resource production, basically, is what it means. And you have to deal with flying the ship away from enemies that it may not be able to defeat. So yeah, just bear that in mind. It is good to build a ship strong enough to gather the resources you're trying to gather. Another asteroid sector, so that's pretty cool. It'd be cooler if there was a claimable for me, but there is not. So I guess maybe we'll push in to these sectors or something. Might have something good. Because I'm not 100% sure where the center of this faction is. It looked like it was up where our trading ship was. However, there's a lot of edge faction sectors around this part. So like this darker color means it's the edge. But there's a lot of sectors around here, so I don't know. Usually there aren't a lot of sectors on the edge of the faction. But that's okay. Not that I'm complaining, I mean, gives me something to do more or less. So it looks like we need like 3 bars more than halfway of our battery to be able to warp. So that's, I try to make note of that so I don't start warping before I have enough charge. Because it sucks if you drain your whole battery trying to warp somewhere and you don't actually complete the warp because you have to wait again for it to recharge. All right, more asteroids to mine. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. Like, they have decreased the claimable asteroid spawn rate in beta 2.0. Like, there's no way they haven't, just because you used to encounter them all the time. You know, like, you'd warp into a sector like this, there'd be a claimable asteroid somewhere in it. But now there's, like, no claimable asteroids. I mean, I think in this save, I've maybe found 5 in total, which is not a lot considering how much space we've explored. And how many sectors we've warped into, like as a player even. Um, but that's okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They want to try to force you into building up your fleet of ships and using the new automation commands that come with the captain specialization and stuff like that. So like they're forcing you to use the new mechanics, which I like. I do like that because I think the new mechanics are good. It's just I miss being able to build mines all over the place because it was a good way to get cheap stations up and running early on because they only cost like 6 or 7 million instead of like 20 or 30 million. Still calculating, eh? Let's see what we get. Ooh, scrapyard. Okay. Not the worst find. Now you can, like, so with the autopilot, there is a salvage sector command. So if you're in a, if you give that command to a ship you're not controlling and they're in a salvage yard sector, they will go buy a salvaging license. They will not anger the faction and try to salvage without one. So that is, I just thought I'd mention that because it is useful to know that. You can set up like an old school salvaging ship if you really want to. So it is kind of dangerous flying in empty space like this, but I want to try to get into the Trinian region, and I don't believe we've hit it yet, so going through empty space makes your warp drive cool down faster, so we're going to do that. Kind of see what's on this side of this rift, because there is a rift below us, so I'm kind of curious to see how it splits space. It's good. Like, I'm doing it for a few reasons. I want to find Trinium, but I didn't have enough energy, that's why I stopped. Pushed it too soon, damn. But I'm going down there to find Trinium, is A. And then B, I want to know where rifts are in space, so I know kind of like where it might be good to set up 2 specific regions of production or something. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's good knowing where the rifts are. Well, shit. How unlucky are we that we happen across the AI in our first jump into empty space? That is very unlucky, let me tell you. I'm gonna let our engine charge up a minute here before we kind of hit continue, because this dude will probably wreck our shit. Um, we don't have any shields or anything, so like, yeah. This dude I think has a few thousand Omicron worth of DPS, and they will chew through 100k health really quickly. Less than a minute for the kill. So yeah, I don't want to get killed. The reason why they're going to attack us is because we have that Swak Zotan artifact socketed in this ship. If we did not, then they would ignore us, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. We almost have our... I think that is about what we need, so let's just warp away. Jump routes calculated, just warp. Thank goodness. Before we get destroyed by the AI, let's warp, because it took us a while to get back down here. I'm not too interested in dying again. I'm surprised there's not like a faction right here. Must be a bunch of hidden mass sectors, which you can see a bunch of them around us, but there's probably significantly more than that. We just don't have a radar system that has a large enough deep scan range for us to highlight them. Finally, encountered another faction sector. Jeez. These guys are pretty well spread out, I must say. But we'll see what this guy looks like. Hopefully they are not angry with us. Like, hopefully we're at neutral standing. Otherwise, this might be a bit of a dicey warp. Either way, we're going to do it because I want to see what's over here. Because you never know, you might find a good equipment dock that has the lasers you're looking for, what have ya, and you can kit out your ship, which is always good. But we'll see. Not bad. It takes a while to travel in this game. It's kind of just the nature of the beast. If I expanded the generator size a lot more from where it is, it would recharge a lot faster, but can't be bothered is kind of what that boils down to. I want this, like, I have the room to expand it. Like, if I added, like, where that chain gun turret is at the front, like, if I made that whole front square a generator, like, we would recharge in probably 2 seconds. But I don't really want to use the processing power for that. I want to be able to put shields on this ship and everything, and shields and generators both apply to processing power, so if I spend processing power on generator, I can't use it on shields. Same with the engines. At some point we might remove that large one that's on the top from the design in order to free up some more processing power for shields. We'll see though. I might, it depends on how long it takes us to get the 250,000 Neonite. We need to get the Neonite combat frigate I want to fly. But, oh well. Yeah, we can't trade with them, so. We don't have any goods. Alright, May the Warp. Cool. This one will take us into that sector. And we'll see if this is the interior or the exterior of this faction. If it's the exterior, it's maybe a little bit better for us because that means the interior will probably fall in Trinian space. But I think if the interior is in this sector as well, it won't matter. I think we are in Trinium space already, so shipyard at this depth should give us the Trinium building knowledge we need if we have the rep, which we don't, or we won't most likely, but it's good to know. Good to know because we can start trading, and you can just trade resources even, will build your reputation, but we can fly our own trade routes, you know, like as a player, if we buy a trading system that identifies them for us, and kind of grow the reputation that way is more or less the best way I've found. Because if you trade big ticket items, meaning that you're dropping like tens of millions of credits for each trade and you're making 10 to 12 million off of each sell, like that will boost your reputation quite a bit because it's based off of the credit amount exchanged between you and the faction. That's how the reputation is determined. So the more credits that are exchanged, the more rep. So we are neutral with them. This is a good mining sector for sure. There's a big Naonite right there. And there's Trinium. And there's a wormhole. So since there's a wormhole, I do like putting this guy on there. Let's see where this wormhole lets out, I guess. Do that first. We can grab a piece of Trinium on the way to the wormhole. Just to get the piece, to get the milestone unlocked, and that's it. Good enough. There's a fair amount of Naonite and titanium. I bet a bunch of these are hidden resource asteroids as well. So like this could be a good spot to come mining. I'm more curious about where this wormhole lets out though. So we're gonna fly through it real quick and see. It's either gonna be Xanian or like Iron region. Where did you spit us out? Oh, it did jump us forward. So this is like Xanian region. Cool. That is cool. I don't really want to be here, but good to know. So if we go down that side, we can warp our way through a wormhole into Xanian a lot faster. Good to know. That's why it's worth going through the wormholes when you find them. Even if you don't warp around once you get to the other side, it's worth just kind of seeing where they take you. Because sometimes they will jump you to where you want to go. And save you a lot of time. A lot of asteroids right there. When we warp in. Makes me sad there's not a claimable in here. That's just iron. Well, I guess that is what it is, right? Go to this one next, I guess. Stay on the cardinal point. Hoping that we hit a shipyard sooner rather than later. Because I think the farther out the shipyard is, the better for us, honestly. I also wouldn't mind coming across a repair dock to see how much it'll cost to relocate our home sector to that, or our repair site to there. Should be good though. See what this system is. It's probably either an asteroid or a scrapyard. Asteroids, cool. I think this one has more than the other sector. It's probably better for mining even. Does not appear that there is a claimable. If I had the C-43 object detector, it'd be a lot easier to tell, but I don't, and that's okay. I don't really want to take up this system slot with it anyway. Alright, Trader 2 has finished his route. Good job. Good gerb. Go trade some more. Shall we? Like here? What do you get out of this region? 18% ambush probability? Damn. That is a risky ass route right there. All of this is like 18%. That's crazy. Okay. I guess we're going to kind of stick up to this side then. It's 8%, which is a little more manageable. If I give them 1.8, it's almost 300k each trip, so that's not terrible. We'll do that. Don't have a whole heap of credits left over after that deposit, but that's okay. So it appears south-southeast. So these guys are at war with us for whatever reason. Let's maybe fly to this one. I don't really want to go into a sector that I'm at war with the faction with, because they will come and attack me as I warp in. And it'll take, you know, like a minute for me to charge up enough battery to warp out. So, like, that's enough time probably for them to kill me. Is what I'm thinking anyway. So we're going to try going this way. Hopefully we stay in this neutral faction. Because neutral won't attack you. Even bad standing won't attack you. But when they're red like that gate is, that means we're at war. And they will attack you on sight. So, yeah. Since I just died, I don't really want to die again. I wouldn't mind patching up that relationship if we can afford it. Yeah, it's these guys, I believe. Whatever. I mean, we might be able to, like, how much does it cost to negotiate? Oh, wow. 10 million is what they're looking for? Like, that is an obscene amount, dude. That is an obscene amount. I ain't paying that shit. Nah, we'll just wipe your faction off the fucking galaxy screen. How about that? Then I can get a bunch of turrets and items to sell to smugglers and such. Instead of spending 10 million, we'll make 100. How about that? And it's not like we declared war on them. They declared war on us. That's how we met them, was they were pissed at us enough to want to kill us on sight. Not 100% sure why, but that is what it is, right? So we will warp in. Hopefully this is a neutral faction. It is. Or it's a gate sector. All the sectors connected here are to neutral faction. So that's good. Probably going to do the south one. East, southeast. No. Southwest. That one. That's the one I want. Takes me back over towards the other part of space that I have explored. So that's why I'm going this way. Eventually we'll probably throw a trading ship over here and have it scout out everything, and it won't be a big deal. But since I'm flying it myself to discover these, I'm going in a specific direction as opposed to just random. Alright, cool. It's a shame there isn't a claimable asteroid like right in front of us, because whenever you come through the gate or warp into the system, you'll be right on top of our station, but that's alright. Not the end of the world. So which way is this? West gate. So I can't go west, but I can go south again. So that is exactly what we're going to do. Let's fly through this gate. Right on over yonder. But it's okay that it takes a while to get around the galaxy map or whatever, because it gives time for your automated ships to generate resources for you, I guess. So like while you're on your trip to wherever you're trying to go as the player, all your ships that you've built and automated are going to generate you stuff. So it's fine. It's just, it takes a while to get places at this stage. I don't have enough warp systems, hyperspace systems in this ship yet. Mainly because the ships are not big enough. Like, they don't support enough system sockets for me to want to waste the ones that I do have on that. But at some point we will build a ship that has enough hyperspace cooldown that it's 0. It'll have a good generator and all that stuff, and we'll make it a scout ship is what we're going to do. But that's a little ways off yet. We need to get to Xanian building knowledge at least, and we don't even have Trinium yet, so ways off, ways off. But no worries, we'll get there eventually. I think we're probably getting close to the 8-hour mark or 9-hour mark for the game as far as game time is concerned. So probably by the 20-hour mark is what I'm going to estimate we're going to be able to have Xanian all wrapped up. But the lady finished the trade route up here. We'll do another one. Oh, they need more money, okay. So we have like 1.4 million we can send them with, so 3 times 140, not that amazing, honestly. Sure, take 1-3, go do that trade route for me. Thank you. Yeah, nothing in here that I really want. Go to this one because I know they're friendly. I'm assuming the other ones are probably friendly too, but I don't actually know that, so I don't want to run the risk of warping into an enemy sector. Because it takes a while to warp out, and they might jam you, so it can be a compounded problem. But so we're still on the outer edge. My guess is the center is probably somewhere over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this next jump, and then I'm going to go grab another drink real quick, and then we'll keep jumping. Alrighty, cool. And I'm going to space into the system, just because it's worth letting the battery recharge and all that stuff while I go run downstairs. So, give me a minute after we spacebar in. Load the sector! Come on, Avorion, you can do it. I believe in you. Alright. Nothing too fancy in here. Ooh, there's a cow system, a sheepy. There's sheepies! Look at the sheepies! No, I'm kidding. You can't actually see them, but there's sheepies. It's a sheep station. That's what that station makes, is sheeps. I could build my own sheep station if I really wanted to. It makes me laugh because my sister's dog loves sheep. So every time I see the sheep station, it just makes me chuckle. But I will be right back. I'm going to go run, grab a drink real quick while our batteries recharge. Alright, we are back. A large fleet of aliens appeared. Well, they're Zotan. They're not going to bug me because I don't have any turrets firing. So, cool. We would just warp away. I could have waited until the faction destroyed them all and picked up their systems potentially and turrets, but can't be bothered. Haven't hit a shipyard system yet, but that's okay. Alright. Hidden mass all around us. So there's probably a smuggler's outpost in one of those yellow dots. And then there's probably a pirate shipyard in one of those dots. And then the rest are probably just mining systems. Maybe there will be a claimable asteroid or two. But if we're looking for sectors to clear out to win the building knowledge for Trinium, this region of space is probably a good place to go because there's a lot of yellow hidden mass sectors which tend to have pirates in there, so you can clear the sector of pirates or whatever to get the building knowledge unlocked. But we need a stronger ship than what we've got currently in order to do that. realistically, that Neonite combat frigate is what we need in order to get the Trinium building knowledge unlocked, because it has a large enough health pool that it can survive the onslaught of wave after wave of pirate ships warping in. And there will be at least, 3 ships shooting at you at a time, pretty much. So you need to have quite a large health pool relative to the DPS the ships are doing in order to, get the building knowledge, right? So, okay. Those are some higher tech stations, so not bad. Like if we threw a trade ship down here and had the budget for it, it probably could do like teleporters or accelerators or something like that, which are worth a lot. Or generate us more. Oh well, not a big deal. We'll build one eventually. It just takes time and resources. Give it one more bar after this one and we'll warp. Should be enough. Not bad though. I mean, it's enjoyable. I mean, I've always really enjoyed space. So Avorion is definitely a game that's up my alley. If you're looking for a fun space game, Avorion is definitely the one I'd recommend to you. Best space game out right now, in my opinion. Hands down. Hands down. No one else even comes close. Empyrion's fun, but it is nowhere near as fun as Avorion, in my opinion. So, yeah. Avorion be number 1, Empyrean number 2, and I don't even know what I'd put in the 3rd slot. But anyway, not a big deal. That's just me, though. Not everyone likes sandbox games that take hundreds of hours to complete. But if you're looking for that kind of a game, Avorion will please you. Let me tell you. If we finish this game in 100 hours, I would be very shocked. But there is a climbable asteroid right here, and apparently a pirate. Are you seriously gonna come over and fucking harass me? This cruiser ass bitch? Yeah, he is. That almost fucking wrecked us, though. Well, shit. We're gonna die again. God damn it. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck this guy. Why? Yeah, we're so screwed. He's doing 5,000 damage. Like, fuck that. That is fucking bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. Because now I'm going to have to fly all the way back from the fucking starting sector. Because I happened to warp into a system that had a fucking douchebag from another faction. What the hell? I didn't even fucking do anything to them. I'm on normal difficulty. None of the factions should be at war with me. None of them. I haven't even had a faction start out at war with me when I was playing like expert level difficulty. That's fucked. It's fucked. It's fucked. I'm gonna end the stream here because I do not have the patience to fly for another fucking hour and a half to get back to where we were. So I apologize for getting salty, but fuck them. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this stream and want to watch the next one, be sure to subscribe so you get notified when I go live. We will be back most likely sometime next week with more Avorion. There will be, over the next few days, some Avorion videos uploaded to my YouTube channel. So if you have yet to do so, be sure you subscribe at youtube.com/LoneDebater7 so you get notified when those videos come up. They're going to cover all the specific changes to the game in more like a procedural type fashion, meaning that we're going to have a video about building knowledge, for example, and a video about turrets, for example, and stuff like that. So you don't have to watch the whole stream to get the tutorial stuff. But guys, This has been Lone Debater 7. I've enjoyed streaming with you today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know in the comments on the YouTube video, like the video as well, and subscribe to my channels. And until